Hey guys, more volcano news, more stuff from my friend the Blue Lagoon, and more stuff from the residents of Grindavik regarding their home buyout program. So this is a filled video again today, lots of stuff. Stay tuned. Leave it a like, guys, if you can. That would help me to push this video out in the algorithm a little bit. So let's jump right in. They are saying the Icelandic Meteorological Office has released an update today, and on Sunday, that massive crater, the last crater that is going in this eruption and that is producing all the lava flow, it has the northern rim cracked and really was releasing a waterfall of lava. So, and at the same time, the land rise underneath the Swartsengi area is continuing again. So the magma chamber there is obviously filling up with magma again while we're seeing the eruption. So what does that mean? We have a constant magma flow underneath Swartsengi. So it seems that is not dying down. And that's why the hazard assessment of the Icelandic Meteorological Office, this hazard map that is in place, is not changing at all. So the power of the eruption seems to have decreased a little bit, but there are no signs that the overall flow of magma from the depth, from that deeper magma reservoir, is decreasing. So it seems a little less is coming out at the eruption, and it seems because the magma reservoir is still putting out the same output, that's why the magma chamber is filling up again. So that's the statement that they're saying. The overall flow of magma from the depth is not decreasing, although what we're seeing on the top level, what's coming out of the eruption, it seems it's decreasing. So right now, the lava that is coming out from this craters, the lava flow, the average lava flow between April 3rd and April 8th is estimated at 3.6 cubic meters per second, and the margin of error is plus minus 0.7 cubic meters per second. So that has reduced in half from their just recent estimates of between 7 and 10 million cubic meters, cubic meters, not million, per second. So right now, 3.6 cubic meters per second, not million. That's the overall flow. We're getting to that. If it was millions per second, that would be a big problem for Iceland, I tell you this. So gas pollution. They're thinking it's east and southeast tomorrow on the 10th. And the gas pollution, then they're thinking it's going to travel to the west and northwest from the eruption centers. So that's the Swartsengi area, that's the Blue Lagoon. What is happening there? And guys, really, if you're interested in that, I really urge you to go to the website of the Blue Lagoon and really scroll around in that website, because, I gave them some credit that they recently had. You still have to click your way through, and it's under frequently asked questions, but they did mention that there's something going on underneath the Blue Lagoon and near the Blue Lagoon. But now go to the start page and you scroll and you scroll, and there's just nothing, zero, nothing. There's not even that banner anymore that was on top of the website that said the Blue Lagoon is open again, read more. And if you click read more, you got a little information about why it is opening again, or why it was closed, right? But, some of you wrote in the comments, it seemed they really want to hide what's going on there so that allegedly stupid tourists will still flock there and leave their money there. And I have to tell you, really, it gives me that impression as well. And you have to scroll down, and it's really, really long. You scroll down to the very bottom where's the contact data and stuff like this, and there's this little tiny thing, it's open again. It's not like after we had to be closed for quite a while because of a volcanic eruption and a magma chamber that's right underneath us and toxic gas pollution were open again. Although the eruption is still going, it could still blow toxic gas to you while you're swimming in that pond. No, nothing of that. It's still this read more. Who clicks that? So if you go through the booking process, you don't even end up there because you do not contact them through that contact. You just do your booking and there's nothing. And I really think this is now so obvious that they really don't want people to know what's going on. Why? And this is why I keep criticizing the Blue Lagoon. Why can't you be transparent? So that someone who wants to book this from another country, who's not like a nerd like we are watching this every day, can make an informed decision whether they want to go there. Because there's elderly people that may have pre-existing conditions, respiratory issues, heart issues, that are not very mobile, that can't do an evacuation, or little kids, or whoever. People need to have the chance to make an informed decision. And that's what I criticize. And it's right now when I saw this, that now even this little banner that didn't really say what it was, we're open again, read more. I mean, if you want to book, you see, well, they're open. Why do I need to read more, right? You think, well, maybe they had a holiday or whatever. A lot of people from other countries don't know. And as time goes on, you know, they don't know. And I think this is what they're after. Or otherwise, you'd be transparent with your website, period. That's it is. Go to the website, guys. Look it up for yourself. So, gas pollution is coming in. I wonder what they're doing. It's already coming in today. Someone in my comments said yesterday they're closed on the 9th and 10th because of that. I haven't seen this on the website that they're closed. So I don't know, right? Temporarily, of course, there will be high levels of toxic gas. And they're saying, well, they continue to measure the gas levels around the eruption and in the settlements on the Reykjavik Peninsula, because it can flow as far as the Keflavik airport or even further. So they say, of course, they're advising the people in this area to monitor the air quality. And there are several websites where you can do this. And they're saying that the experts from the Institute of National Sciences and the Land Survey of Iceland went on a survey flight over the eruptions yesterday on April 8th. And based on the data that they collected during that flight, they say they were able to estimate the size of the lava bed and the lava flow during the eruption. So the spread of the lava, how far is it spreading out? And their results show that the power of the eruption has steadily decreased. So maybe some access tunnel that leads to the eruption is getting more narrow. That's why it's building up pressure in the magma chamber again, because before it was a balanced flow. So what was coming from the deep magma reservoir was flowing right out in the eruption. It wasn't really storing in the magma chamber. So that seems to have changed. Before they did this flight, they thought that more lava is still coming out. So between March 27th and April 3rd, we had around 6.6 cubic meters per second, and now they're at 3.6. So almost half. And the lava has flowed mostly south from the crater, so in the direction of Grindavik. But when that rim broke on Sunday, it temporarily did flow north, but only very short, and then it started flowing south again. They have a new map that is quite interesting, where they outline where the lava is flowing and has flown. So the purple areas and the gray areas, that's from the past eruption, and the light yellow area, that's the new eruption. And the darker it gets, the higher the lava has built up, because at the first 2 days, 3 days, it was advancing, spreading out a lot, so that they thought it would even flow into the sea and flow over a road there. But then it started building layers on top of each other, and that's what you see in the red areas. So where it was really building up, and that's why it was threatening some parts of the defense walls in Grindavik that were about 8 meters high, and the lava was catching up and was threatening to flow over the defense walls. So that's why they have increased the height of the defense walls about 6 or 4 to 6 meters, so roughly between 12 and 14 meters, to address that buildup of lava. And of course, the buildup where it's almost black, so that's more than 22 meters. That's the crater, that's the last crater that is spilling out, and there have been estimates that it's as high as 50 meters. So that is really, really high. And then you see two more dark spots. That's where the gravel pit was, where they have used material to build the defense walls. So that has filled up, and gradually the whole lava carpet there is basically filling up, and that's what this map shows. And if you compare it to the last map that they have released, you can see there is a clear difference. And then there was another map that was even earlier. You see how it was gradually building up, because that eruption keeps going since March 16th. So that's quite a long time. The speed of the land rise underneath the Swartsengi area, that is because of the magma chamber filling, has increased again in the past week. So it continues to fill up. The speed has increased at the same time that the power of the eruption has decreased. We've talked about that. So right now it seems that the majority of the magma that flows underneath the Swartsengi area is collecting up there again underneath the Blue Lagoon, and that's causing increased pressure, and that's why the land keeps rising again. So there is still an open connection, an open pipe between this magma chamber and the eruption site. That's why there's magma still flowing and coming out as lava in the Sutnuka crater series, guys. And the seismic activity along that magma tunnel, that 15-kilometer long magma tunnel that has formed on November 10th when these massive earthquakes had happened, there is some seismic activity. It has continued to be very low though, and it is mainly between Sillingerfell and Stora Skogfell, but also a little bit in the western part of Grindavik. So this is always an indication that something's flowing there, maybe rumbling there, some gases, something. And guys, they're comparing this eruption with the Fagradalsfjall eruption many times in order to be able to maybe give some prediction about how long this might take or what might happen. And so at Fagradalsfjall, the small earthquake activity has been going on for the last few months, and that still continues, and they remain very localized at a depth about 6 to 7 kilometers. So something's going on still there as well. And also they have done gas measurements yesterday on April 8th, and the estimate was that it's like 10 to 18 kilograms per second of sulfur dioxide gas that's coming out from the craters. And there are always like temporarily high levels of these gases measured around the eruption site and around the greater areas there, Grindavik, Blue Lagoon. And remember, if the Blue Lagoon is open, people are swimming in that pond. It's really big. Can you get out there quickly enough? As I said, elderly, sick people, heart conditions. I don't think it's justifiable. I think it's very careless, very, very careless to have this Blue Lagoon open and to not have enough information on the website. It should state if you have a pre-existing condition, respiratory issues, heart conditions, are bad on foot, stuff like this, young children, just do not go there and advise them about the risks. They really, really should do that. The gas emissions, and that's what the official entities are stating, that these gas emissions from this volcanic eruption are likely to cause pollution on the Reykjanes Peninsula. And they say we advise people in the area to monitor the air quality and also learn about reactions to air pollution from that volcanic eruption. So if the residents should learn about this, why are the tourists not informed about this at the Blue Lagoon? I have to raise that question again. The risk assessment, therefore, remains unchanged. They say the current hazard map is valid until April 16th, given the fact that everything remains the same and that there are no changes. But they're also mentioning that the risk caused by gas pollution is still assessed as high, except the areas, of course, where we have the crater eruption. There it's assessed as very high. The risk in area 4, that's Grindavik, and area 6 is still assessed as high due to the lava just flowing into these fissure movings, lava flow, and gas contamination. So these areas basically get everything. They get the fissures, the sinkholes, the lava flow, the gas pollution. So those areas get it all. They're saying it is very difficult to predict when this eruption will end. And I think, again, they're saying we know that we don't know. That's basically how I would interpret that statement. They're saying it could continue for a longer time with constant flow, or it could stop in the near future. So 50-50, choose, make your choice, right? And they're saying as magma continues to accumulate underneath Swartsengi and the pressure there increases, there is also a possibility that the power of the current eruption will increase again. Yeah, because the pressure's building up to send some lava, some magma out if the pressure release reaches a point of maximum elasticity. And that has happened in the 2021 Fagradalsfjall eruption. So that's why they're mentioning it, so that it could happen here again. And also, they're saying if this eruption stops in the near future, it's most likely that the magma will continue to accumulate under Swartsengi again, as it did since November 10th, build up pressure there, and if that magma chamber reaches the point of maximum elasticity, it will send the magma on its way again, cause another intrusion. That's when it's forming a magma intrusion underground that doesn't erupt, or another eruption again, as we have seen in the last month. So they're thinking it will repeat itself. We know one scientist, Thoraldur Thorvaldsen, said just last week he thinks once this eruption ends, that this will be the end of the series of this event that has started since November 10. But it doesn't look like this, because as long as the land keeps rising underneath Swartsengi, it means that there is magma accumulating in that magma chamber. And that magma chamber has only room for that much, right? We have now over 31 million cubic meters of lava that has flown out from that eruption. And that magma chamber, when it's between anything like 8 to 13 million cubic meters, that's when it's full, and that's when it usually triggers an event. So it has triggered the past events when it had an amount between 8 to 13 million cubic meters. And think about how much was sent out now. So you see the flow rate, it's still pretty good. So it should, usually we have seen events in a time frame between 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, and then something happens again. So once this eruption stops, it could be like 3 to 4 weeks, and then we see the next events. That's what they're basically saying. But it's all a guessing game. Nobody knows for sure. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about what stupid tourists did that were using the access to the Blue Lagoon and then walk from there to the eruption site, check out the video in the end screen, guys. Something's rumbling again in Italy. I'll put this in the end screen again. Also, that is a super volcano. That's really bad if that thing erupts. So there is something really concerning going on right now. So check it out, guys. I have to go outside. The farm works were waiting for me. Thank you so much for supporting my farm with the coffees on my buymeacoffee.com website. I really appreciate this. And of course, the supers here, guys. Thank you so much. And you're just lovely. And I hope to see you again soon with another update that's probably coming in a few hours. So regularly check my start page of my YouTube channel, because YouTube keeps unsubscribing viewers from multiple channels. That seems to be a bug or something, or sometimes notifications are not sent. So I'm releasing 1 to 2 videos per day, so I'm always here. So if you don't see me, just check me out. On the Pulse with Silky is always present. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.